There is a place where the whispers of ancient emperors echo through stone arches, where saints walked toward destiny, where entire civilizations were built, destroyed, and reborn. Welcome, my friends, to Lazio, a region that doesn't just tell history. It breathes it. Today, on Bella Italia, we dive into secrets, legends, food, beauty, and the stories they didn't tell you in school. This is Lazio, the beating heart of Italy. When people hear Lazio, they think instantly of Rome, the eternal city, and they're not wrong. But Lazio is so much more. It's a treasury of 5 provinces, countless ancient towns, volcanic lakes, ghost cities, sacred sites, and culinary traditions that have remained unchanged for centuries. It's a land of contrasts, where the bustling energy of the capital gives way to silent, windswept hills and forgotten Etruscan tombs. So let's start where civilization itself seems to have a secret entrance. On the hills of Lazio, shepherds once watched their flocks, never imagining that a small cluster of huts would one day become the capital of the greatest empire the world had ever known. This is where the legend begins, where Romulus and Remus, the mythical twins, were supposedly found and raised by a she-wolf. It's a story that embodies the rugged, resilient spirit of this land. Before the Senate, before the emperors, and long before Christianity, kings ruled from these very hills. The power that radiated from this small region was staggering. At its peak, the Roman Empire controlled around 20% of the world's population, stretching from Britain to Mesopotamia. All of that influence, that law, that engineering, and that culture all started right here in Lazio. Among Lazio's countless monuments, none is more famous or more misunderstood than the Colosseum, a true icon of Rome, built in the year 80 AD. This architectural marvel could hold up to 50,000 spectators, all gathered for spectacles of breathtaking scale. And yes, this was a place of brutal entertainment, of gladiatorial combat, and of life and death spectacle. A popular image is that of Christians being fed to lions here. The historical reality is more complex. Persecutions of Christians certainly happened, especially under emperors like Nero, but historians debate whether the Colosseum was a primary site for these events. Still, the amphitheater has become a powerful symbol of the struggles of early Christians, and speaking of faith, Lazio holds one of its most profound stories. One of Lazio's most powerful spiritual legacies is tied to the journey of Paul the Apostle. Around the year 60 AD, Paul arrived in Rome not as a visitor, but as a prisoner. Held under house arrest, he didn't stop his mission. He preached fearlessly, laying the groundwork for a faith that would one day transform the empire. Not far from the ancient road, the Via Austins, lies the site where he met his martyrdom. Today, the magnificent Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls stands over his resting place. It is one of the 4 major papal basilicas and a pilgrimage site for believers from across the globe. Inside, an extraordinary sight awaits, a long line of mosaic portraits depicting every pope in history, from St. Peter to the present day. It's a silent, inspiring reminder that this region witnessed the birth of Christianity as we know it, right in the heart of the Roman world. Now let us journey away from the grand basilicas and into a place that feels like it is suspended in time. Perched on a fragile cliff of volcanic tough rock, we find Civita di Bagnoregio, known as the Dying City. Founded over 2,500 years ago by the ancient Etruscans, it seems to float in the clouds, disconnected from the modern world. Today, only a handful of people live here year-round. The reason for its nickname is somber. The soft rock on which it is built is constantly eroding, meaning the town is slowly but surely disappearing. This makes every visit feel precious, like stepping into a dream you know won't last forever. What's truly unique is that Civita can only be reached by a long pedestrian bridge, no cars, no traffic, just the sound of the wind and your own footsteps on the path to this magical, vanishing world. Just a short trip from Rome lies Tivoli, a hillside town so stunningly beautiful that even emperors escaped here to forget about the burdens of ruling the world. The mighty Emperor Hadrian chose this spot for his extravagant retreat, building a vast palace complex, Hadrian's Villa, that was larger than the entire city of Pompeii. It was a city in itself, complete with libraries, spas, theaters, and even artificial lakes and canals that recreated famous sites from his travels. But the wonders of Tivoli don't end there. In the Renaissance, another masterpiece was created, Villa d'Este. This palace is world famous for its incredible gardens, bursting with over 500 fountains, cascades, and water jets. And here's the truly genius part: they are all powered by gravity alone. No pumps, no engines, just brilliant hydraulic engineering that channels water from the nearby river beyond the cities and villas. Lazio's landscape is dotted with some of Italy's most enchanting lakes, all born from the craters of ancient, extinct volcanoes. Lake Bolsena, the largest volcanic lake in all of Europe, is a sight to behold. Its waters are famously clean, so pure that locals say you can drink directly from them. Then there's Lake Bracciano, a haven of tranquility just outside Rome. Motorboats are banned here, preserving its peaceful atmosphere and making it one of the calmest, quietest spots you can find. There's something truly mystical about these lakes. They are serene and beautiful on the surface, but deep beneath you can feel the silent, ancient fire that first gave them life, connecting you to the earth's powerful history. And what journey through an Italian region would be complete without talking about the food? Lazio's cuisine is honest, humble, and utterly unforgettable. It's about simple ingredients transformed into dishes that can make grown Italians cry with joy. First, carbonara, born in Rome, it's a masterpiece made with eggs, sharp pecorino romano cheese, black pepper, and crispy guanciale or cured pork jowl. There is no cream, never. Cream, that's the golden rule. Then there's cacio e pepe, which means cheese and pepper. It sounds simple, just three ingredients: cheese, pepper, and starchy pasta water. But achieving that perfect, creamy sauce without any clumps is a true art form, and we must honor Amatriciana. This rich tomato-based sauce comes from the town of Amatrice in northern Lazio, a town sadly devastated in the 2016 earthquake. Made with tomato, pecorino, and guanciale, it's a dish that carries the resilient soul of its people. The cheese of choice is Pecorino Romano, a salty sheep's milk cheese so ancient that Roman soldiers carried it in their rations. For a main course, there's Abbacchio, tender milk-fed lamb, often roasted with garlic and rosemary. And to wash it all down, a glass of Frascati wine, a golden, crisp white wine that has been loved in this region since ancient times. But what truly brings Lazio to life is its people. The people of Lazio, and especially the Romans, are famous for their sharp humor, their big hearts, and their unfiltered passion. They speak with their hands, they laugh loudly, and they argue with fervor, but they'll almost always invite you to dinner afterward. These are people who have seen it all. They have survived invasions, plagues, fires, and the rise and fall of entire empires. And yet, through it all, they've maintained a contagious joy for life, a talent for finding beauty and humor in the everyday. They are the living embodiment of the history that surrounds them, proud, resilient, and eternally welcoming. Today, Lazio is not a museum trapped in the past. It's a vibrant, dynamic region bustling with life. It's home to world-class universities, thriving technology centers, beautiful beaches along the Tyrrhenian coast, and a nightlife that buzzes with youthful energy. But what makes Lazio truly unique is the way the past and present dance together in perfect harmony. Every step you take, every street you cross, every ancient stone beneath your feet holds thousands of years of stories. You can sip a coffee in a piazza designed by Bernini, then hop on a high-speed train. You can admire a Roman aqueduct from your modern apartment window. This is the magic of Lazio. History isn't something you just look at in a book. It's something you live and breathe every single day. So whether you come for the food, the lakes, the ruins, the saints, or the spectacular sunsets over St. Peter's Basilica, Lazio has a way of getting under your skin. It invites you to slow down, to listen, to feel, because here in the heart of Italy, history isn't just remembered, it is alive. Thank you for joining Bella Italia on this journey through Lazio. If you love Italy, its history, its beauty, and its food, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which region should we explore next. Ciao e a presto!